And what's up, y'all? We are back. This is FanBrosShow for all nerds. Hope you've been enjoying the episode. Letitia Wright, thank you for coming through. Cannot wait to see you in Infinity War. You all need to go back. If you're a new listener, make sure you go back on the SoundCloud, on the iTunes, and listen. Because when we talk about interviews, we're not just saying, oh, yeah, we do great interviews here and there. No, it's like some of the best interviews you will ever hear. The Letitia Wright is another one. Thank you, Tatiana and Jeff. Y'all handled that so well.
Thank you, sir.
Amazing work as always. And it seems like we might have been avoiding something, haven't been talking about something, but we just had to get into it. It's been a big week as always in news, and this week the news kind of involved, it always involves FanBrosShow, but a little bit more directly this week. There was a little thing you might have heard about called Universal FanCon.
Yeah.
And
just a little bit, kind of might have been in your Twitter feed or something. We might have heard about it, seen it on some sites, people talking about it. And long story short, Universal FanCon was postponed this week, 1 week before it was supposed to happen. The administrators, I'm not sure what you would call them.
Organizers.
The organizers put out a message and said that it was canceled 1 week, beforehand. And so that are postponed / who knows what's going on right now. But, Tatiana, I think we did have, something a little bit in this,
So we have something to say because as you guys already know, we've been promoting it. We've had ads on the show. You've seen tweets or even IG posts from us because we were going to do like a cosplay thing. We were going to have a panel. Outlaw Barge was going to have a panel. And we were on there as affiliates/advisors. And what that means is as affiliates, you were supposed to help champion the cause. Because, everybody in this blurred space, if you will, all knew each other, we realized, working together, you can help amplify our message. You don't have large corporations helping us. We don't have these large journalism outlets helping. So it's just like, let's rely on each other. So I'm not sure how many affiliates there are. There might've been 12, 15, something around that range. And we were one of them. And that was our job. Talk about FanCon, make sure people know what's going on, involve ourselves in it, have panels and just get people involved because it was always expressed as a space for inclusion, a space for diversity, and a safe space for everybody who felt marginalized otherwise, and a space where other conventions weren't creating for us. So that meant LGBTQ, it meant the disability communities, it meant people of color, it meant women, it meant everybody. Okay, quite frankly, it meant everybody that felt overlooked by the mainstream conventions like San Diego or New York Comic-Con and things of that nature. In our capacity, again, that's what we did. We were talking a lot about it, telling people to come through, buy your tickets. We had discount codes. We was trying to get everybody in on the cheap, sometimes for free $99 if we could, doing contests. And that was the extent of our involvement. As an affiliate, we're not close to the day-to-day operations. All we know is they say, hey, affiliates, we need y'all to do X, Y, Z this week. And we say, okay, cool. When that whole bomb dropped, when was it? Thursday, Friday?
Right.
Friday. Yep.
Friday. When that whole bomb dropped, that definitely blindsided us because while there's a lot of talk going on that, oh, y'all knew what was going on, we were given the narrative that everything was okay. That regardless of what problems you heard or whatever negative was happening, that it was taken care of. So as someone who is trusting in an organization and trusting in the organizers, and they're telling you, yo, we're good, keep doing what you're doing, we're we believe in the cause, we're going to keep championing the cause, we're going to keep pushing for it. So when it was announced, yeah, no, we're in a financial deficit that we can't overcome, it's just wow, what do we do now? And we only want to express, we feel for everybody. It's clear how much this has hurt so many people. It's clear how people have been not just like affected, you know, financially, but also psychologically, emotionally, the pain that has gone through with that. You'll see, I know there's been Jeff had shown that there was an old About Us page that's been circulating that shows us, or it shows Ben as an advisor. I'll say that Ben never been in one meeting because Ben was running around town, not being in one meeting. But
degrees and shit.
Right. But as FanBrosShow, I was around, right? So I was around for a lot of those meetings. I also became, it's a deputy director of community relations. What that means is it was just someone helping affiliates. So whenever the organizers had a lot of communications to share with the affiliates, I would put it in a nice, pretty format and say, hey, affiliates, this is what's the news for this week. Or if the affiliates had any questions, they would ask me, I would gather questions and find out who's supposed to give them the answer. So basically, I was like that go-between, that liaison. And again, that was an extent of my involvement. I cannot begin to tell you how painful it's felt to basically be lied to in my face on multiple occasions. And it's a lot of stuff that's coming to light now that has confused me and put me in a space of, I felt that I was being too trusting.
Mm-hmm.
So don't have much more to share except for that's what our role was in all this. That I'm sorry that everyone has to go through such just horrible situation. And I just am hopeful that the contingency stuff that's happening now, like with I think it's Geeks of Color. I think what's the other group? Oh, Black Heroes Matter.
Nerds of Color.
Nerds of Color. Sorry, Nerds of Color. They come together and created
WIC Comic-Con.
Yeah, WIC Comic-Con?
Yep, WIC Comic-Con is what they're calling it. It's an alternative event that they put together, and it's going to happen on Saturday in Baltimore. Yeah. And they're also planning some more programming for Friday and Sunday. So definitely make sure you check that out. Yeah, like I just want to back up what Tatiana said there is we feel bad mainly because we feel like we were far too trusting. You know, we're used to doing everything ourselves. When we did something like a Crown Wakanda event, you know, that was all internally produced. We really had no outside help other than like the NAACP, who was our main partner on that event. But we basically design and put together everything on anything you've ever seen us do. So that's what we're used to. So when someone else says, okay, help promote this, and everyone from the community is coming together, we were like, all right, let's lend our hand to this and help promote it. You know, and that's why you heard the ads. That's why you heard us talking about it. Because we were as excited as you are. I still have a plane ticket on my way to New York right now because, you know, I'm in Cali and I was expecting to be out there next week. So it's, you know, that's where it hurts me because I feel like that we've, you know, let people down who listen to the show who were like, yo, FanBrosShow was sitting there talking this up and I might have bought a ticket because of them and boom, now I'm ass out. Right. So, you know, and that hurts me. And I apologize for that because like I say, when we do events like Crown Wakanda, when we've done our events at New York Comic-Con, anything we've done in the past, you always know when you come through, it's a crazy event. You know, you get more than you ever paid for every time. We always make sure that everyone has a great time. Everyone's taken care of. And there's just a lot, like Tatiana said, that is coming out from this that we'll be talking about in weeks to come. I'll definitely be speaking more on later on. I don't want to, you know, say too much right now just because it's way too early and there are a lot of wounds that are too raw. And I'm still trying to figure out exactly where I stand on a lot of things. But like Tatiana knows this, I'm going to say this real quick. Everything I feel about this situation is things I've always felt about these situations. And it's really just been solidified by this. And I see where a lot of people stand on what side they stand on. And it's been like, all right, you know, we see.
Yeah. And I wanted to, I expressed what I expressed because I also wanted to share. I know for some people, they sit there and say, well, how come all of you didn't know? There's so many people involved. And, you know, how could you not know? Well, it's just like when it's a small group of people holding all the cards to their chest and you're there just as a supporter, you genuinely don't know. That's the way Ben and me mentioned. We've produced a lot of events, and even just recently with Crown Wakanda, we produced that event. The way we operate is if it's something that we're doing, like him and I doing, we are very on top of all of the details. And there's anyone that's brought in from the operational standpoint, we make sure that they know all the details. And the reason being is because it's kind of very simple for us. If one of us gets hit by a bus, we want to make sure that every stitch of information, money, whatever is known, is accounted for, and that it can either continue, or if it needs to turn and do something else, then we can do that. But we do that because we realize the lives really at stake. So it's important that everyone understands, just from the people who have been affiliates, for the people who have been supportive, the supporters rather, that they had very little information, and still we all have very little information. Mm-hmm. And I just want everyone to recognize that as the time goes on, because I know there's going to be lots of speculation and assumptions and names thrown out there. But I just wanted to be clear that it's only a very small group of people who have the keys, who know exactly what happened or didn't happen, whatever. And that's who needs to speak up right now.
Right. And I'll say, just wanted to chime in first off, as someone who's new to the show, I really got a lot of respect for y'all for bringing up this topic, even though you weren't privy to any financial statements, which is still crazy to me. But, you weren't privy like, not even at y'all, but it's just like, how you had one person in that About Me per universe. Per multiverse, you had
per DC universe.
Yeah, but for DC multiverse, you had 52 people, and only a certain amount of people knew about it. And I'm speaking as somebody who, like I said, we've been in contact with this offline beforehand, speaking to this day, where I'm like, I only know how to keep it real. No one ain't gonna blacklist me. Nobody. I don't give a fuck about I'm gonna call it how I see it. First off, I feel for everybody who lost their money. I'm going to tell you how real it was, Ben. I mean, 11 p.m. your time, which is 2 a.m. my time. I'm in a bar, and I randomly scroll Twitter, and I see somebody's tweet that they were a $5,000 contributor via Kickstarter.
Oh, I saw that one.
And they're not going to get their money back. Yo, I've been screaming 5 racks for the last 3 days because 5 racks.
Oh my God.
And you have the audacity to wait hours. You dropped the announcement at midnight. Like you trying to beat the Friday sweeps of news information. You drop it at midnight, and this was what was taking all your time. This frequently asked question that says, yo, man, we lost money too, but you could come to Baltimore and watch Infinity War with us. Are you fucking kidding me? I feel bad for those people. I feel even worse for people like for like you guys and FanBros version 2.0 before I came back on and it became Street Fighter Championship Edition and all of that. hyper fighting. But I feel bad for you guys because this is like a cosine pyramid scheme where the first level of the high influencers trust a group of people, and then those people who trust you, and the trust trickles down. But then when the house falls, we're the ones that's left in the rubble, and they're not here to stand. And I mean, yo, the target group was marginalized folk, the most marginalized group of people in our blurred community, literally for all nerds, especially the marginalized ones. And they're the ones, like people coming from London, people coming from Japan, and 2 separate orgs were able to rally in 24 hours and find an alternative. And they who hide in the shadows with this Kickstarter money have been silent and have been attacking people on Twitter, have been scrubbing their bios of everything FanCon related, have been claiming feigning ignorance as to financial. And let me ask you something. If I was FanBros and I just told you, don't worry, I got it, what you gonna tell me? You don't need to know nothing. I got it. What you gonna tell me?
I'm like, you're freaking crazy.
Yeah, Ninja, please.
Your money. I didn't found FanBros, but we in this together. But I got the money, and you won't know nothing. Nothing. Zero. Your money. Your money, because you know what, y'all founded this. So me coming on, I'm like, this is boss's money. But I took boss money and I told him I got it. But I didn't know nothing. I just came on. I used my social capital to fund this event. Are you kidding me? Like deadest of asses. You are that
deadest of ass.
You are that dead ass. Like, yo, it's a slap in our face, y'all. It's a slap in our face. So now when the next Crown Wakanda comes along, or the next FanBrosCon, or anything like that, why would I trust?
Right.
And
people
are doing this to me.
Well, see, I understand that, but I'm not going to police anybody's feelings or the way that they react. But I also, my hope is that that's not what happens. Like, I don't want that logic leap to start happening with everything. Like, oh, well, it's led by people of color. Why should I care for it? Or, oh, it's a first year thing. Why should I do it? I think if people are present, again, because there's still new cons happening, conventions happening, there's still event stuff happening. As long as it's clear that these people are if not vetted, that they show that they have their full business plan or information about what they're doing, that people can read in it, ask their questions, get their get their questions answered straightforward. If there's no issue, then they should still feel safe to do it. I'm not saying that everyone's going to feel that way, but I just hope that people don't go to the extreme with this situation and be like, I'm never going to support y'all ever again. Y'all meaning just the collective creative space who wants to do something, whether you're big or small.
Let's get it clear. This shit was canceled. It wasn't postponed. It was canceled. Postponement is just a cancellation that you think is going to happen at another time. And it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. This is mud, bro. Like this. Yo, would you, what? You going to try a part 2? There's very few sequels that are that better than the original that I'm going to give it a chance. Very few. And FanCon, Universal FanCon, I'm sorry, that it's not one of them. And then everybody who was in that e-board should be ashamed of themselves. Listen, man. Like, you don't scam anybody. You don't scam our people. Like, you know what I mean? This isn't financial aid. This isn't any of that stuff. This is people's hard-earned money. Like, think about the vendors, bro. Think about the vendors. Like, you can't just say, oh, I'm just gonna pack it up. You can't give it back to Kinko's and FedEx and be like, yo, can you just reverse engineer this and get regular paper back and I can just get my money? Like, this shit is not, Captain Planet. Maybe that happens if Captain Planet is released in 2018, but not now. Not now. It's just a travesty, man. And I hate that orgs like ours, like other people that were affiliated, people are rightfully looking at us like we got the answers, and it's like, your dogs, I was just here to promote. Like, you remember the episode of Fresh Prince when they were dancing in the video, and he was like, yo, what you trying to do? I was just trying to get to the kitchen. He's like, yo, I was trying to be in the video. Like, we trying to be in the video. We keeping it real. They telling you they go into the fridge. They were trying to go to the fridge. And it's just, I'm just glad that we're able to make this statement, and you're able to state what it is. I think you guys have been open and honest enough throughout your careers that, people should feel free to ask any questions and do that, and really see that. But yeah, man, this is just, like, it's to the point you read some of these statements and you read some of the frequently asked questions, and it didn't have to go down like this. Sometimes if you endeavor to do something and you fail, it's better to acknowledge it and try to do something better than to pull it off. Because I could tell you, I've never worked in hospitality, but I've traveled enough to know hotels don't cancel shit in a week unless they don't got their money. For a block of rooms, think about when you book a hotel. You give your credit card, so they know at the worst case, you don't show up, we got you for a night. Yeah. With the taxes, with everything, you get in charge and you're not getting your money back. But if I'm holding rooms, at some point it's like, your dog, your joint's on Friday. You got that for me? Oh, there's no, give me the money or I'm canceling your rooms. And I'm telling your people that we're canceling the rooms. Now, if this money was here, that shouldn't have been a problem, because organizations and events that operate in a deficit, they're operating in a deficit because they had already paid the money. And they had already paid everything out, and they've taken extra, and they've done whatever they can to put the event on. And you're trying to get extra money through ticket sales and selling other stuff. So if you're operating at a deficit, you still should be able to do something. I'm sorry, you got double of a Kickstarter, and the money's gone in 2 years. 2 years? I could have paid my loan off with that shit. if they were gonna waste it, let me put it to good use. Let me be debt free in 2018. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's like it's one of those things where you know how the Hulk gets stronger with anger. That's how I feel. Like the more I think about it, it's like I could think like, yo, they really scrubbing their profiles on social to say that they not there. What you thought we forgot? You forgot screenshots of forever? Like, come on, man. Like and what, no? That don't want me to? That don't want me to? You can bleep me out.
I think it's already been said. I mean, you know, like that, you know, whether or not you need to say any names to the, you know, besides the point, I think, you know, we've already said, like, you know, we are definitely honest and everything about everything that's gone down. Me, myself, and I've been highly offended just by the fact, because I know my partner, you know, I know what Tatiana puts into this organization, and I know what she does in the, you know, like when we've done live events, I know how much work she puts in. So when, like, and anyone who ever has come to one of our events, they know how it goes down. So that's where it hurts me the most, because I see these other people not handling the business like, you know, they should have. And then, like you said, Jeff, you know, just the audacity of how things have gone down afterwards, and leaving people like the affiliates out in the dust, as well as your vendors, your guests, you know, everyone, your people who, all the celebrities who are coming in, all just the goodwill of the world that went into this event. So yeah, it's like, yo, but you know, we'll probably, I mean, this is not something that's done yet. We're gonna have a lot more to say on this in the weeks to come. If you have any questions for us, you can always hit us up at FanBrosShow on Twitter, Instagram, all those places. Leave a comment below, you know, and we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more FanBrosShow after this.